Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my beautiful, lovely audience. I'm always calling like this. And today I'm very, very honored, happy, and thrilled to have a very special guest. Um, and I have a special name for our or title for our podcast. You remember it's Diversity is the game changer still, and me, Valeria, your host, right, and champion and advocate for diversity. And today we have, wow, really diverse champion for diversity. And the title of our podcast today, it's called Ray Morrison, The Different Emotions of Fashion. And it's actually, I can give a brief introduction for the title because I decided to combine two titles, one from his beautiful film, which he made himself. I watch and I strongly advise to everybody, which called the emotions of fashion, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, and of course, even more, it sounds on Italian. But yes, I'm not Italian, but everything you can put anything in Italian, and it sounds fabulous. It's true. Dante Alighieri, yes, oh my God, really
Thank
made
you.
most beautiful language, and the exhibition, your exhibition, and a lot what you're doing with fashion, it's also called different fashion. So that's why I combined and I made a title for podcast, The Different Emotions of Fashion. And I'm sure people will understand why. And now I would like to take the chance and honor to present who we are having today. We have the privilege of speaking with Raymond Rossi. I don't know if I'm pronounced the right, but
Perfectly.
yes, he's better known as Ray Morrison, and I will be addressing Ray today. Okay, so a true visionary in the realms of culture, fashion, and photography. Ray is not just an acclaimed photographer, fashion icon, professional style expert, and author, but a global ambassador of my favorite, Italian style, recognized and celebrated worldwide. His work has graced the pages of some of the most prestigious magazines across the globe, from Vogue, Rolling Stone to Modern Photography and Black Camera. His artistic journey has been a constant exploration of beauty, culture, and identity. And his contributions to fashion have transcended borders, connecting people from all continents. But Ray has not only captured the beauty of the world through his lens, he has also focused on amplifying the voices of those who often overlooked, I mean minorities, in mainstream narratives. And it's very important for our podcast because we are talking about diversity and inclusion. And in Ray's interviews and insights are easily found across global media platforms where you always advocate for perspective and resonate about diverse audience far and wide. So, dear Ray, your work has empowered countless individuals to embrace differences. And today I'm more than honored to delve deeper in your personal story, insights, and how actually you believe we can build more inclusive society. So thank you so much and welcome to our show.
Hi, Valeria. Hi, everyone. Very nice being here with you guys.
Appreciate it. And of course, we all know, and I believe that everything we can achieve in our career and private life, adulthood is straightly connected with our childhood and mindset. And we kind of started a little bit delving in your childhood before we start recording. But of course, I would like our audience to get as much as possible enlightening inside the story of little Ray. So, dear Ray, today I would like to start our conversation by exploring, like I said, your journey of a little Ray, which I know your childhood has been shaped by both personal challenges and transformative experience. I have made my homework properly, so I could read about your um, inner battles in your childhood and the story of bullying and kind of a little bit resignation with your passion in the childhood, probably because of the family. But I don't want to open your story because my story is quite similar, but this show is for you. So could you please tell us about little Ray?
Yeah, yes, sure.
Thank
So I born and raised in the middle of Italy and in a little town, so very traditional and very quiet. But yeah, for sure, I had a family with a pretty strong parents,
Mhm.
mainly my father. So I was not allowed to choose what I wanted more. So the schools, the sports, the hobbies were always decided by my father.
Mhm.
So my personality grew up a bit, I would say, weak, not so confident. Not, I was not feeling so confident, and this also was visible in society, so at school and stuff. And I was also very fat when I was a baby and a child. So all these two things together um, created some problems because
Mhm.
with other kids and stuff you have a lot of they made full of you both for your physical
Mhm.
aspect because you're fat, also because you're very shy, you're not confident and stuff. So I was a bit yeah, the last one of the mates at school and stuff. But I was very serious. I was studying a lot. I was
Mhm.
not going too much, having fun stuff. So probably this is what can photograph my childhood. Very, very, yeah, in like not freedom, I would say. Very, very controlled. At the same time, my parents were taking me in travels all around Europe during the summers, and this helped me to see many, many countries, cultures, and stuff. So probably even if I didn't know, inside myself was growing this passion to travel, to meet all types of stories, and maybe now in photography mainly I can try to tell stories different from the one classic in Italy, let's say it's an open mind that um, wants to give space, yeah, to every story, everybody, every personality, and every
Mhm.
culture.
Thank you for sharing, and it's beautiful. I can track the parallel. Many people, including me, um, we can really take our childhood and actually um, put through the lens of learning. Okay, how we can transform it, and especially the people with imagination and creativity inside. We really try to express later in our life what we could not express while we were children. And maybe not maybe I'm sure that from one side it was, yes, challenging for you, right? But at the same time it became your creative fuel, which was accumulating inside your soul and brain, imagination. And now that's why we have all these beautiful stories seen from your lens, right? So it's
Yeah,
amazing that.
probably. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably it's a way to listen because I was not. I was like I felt that no one could listen to me because I could not speak too much because everyone was deciding for me. So now my passion to listen to stories of others and try to put their stories and their diversity and their personal path in photography, in images, probably is very related to my childhood, because it's like to listen to other people and to put their soul or their part of themselves in images.
Exactly. And actually, more and more every day I'm hosting this show, I'm trying to work with my challenge, because like you said, that I am not good listener at all. Actually, I do believe somehow that people need there and then my insight, and it's so important for them to get like confirmation or from me. But now I really work with myself, sometimes physically, that I'm not opening my mouth, because I'm here now to listen, like you said, to listen fully your story, to be able to put my soul and reflect, not just immediately, oh, what about me, what about what I should say now, right? And I think that you can use different approaches like photography, and it's even more actually important that you can listen and you can be sometimes just reflective and quiet and pause, right? Because picture itself, it doesn't, I mean, like verbally say much, but when the talented photographer take the picture, oh my god, this picture, you don't need even to listen what is there. It's everything there. It's already story. It can be the huge story of like really the whole life. Like, I mean, I experienced when I watch your photos, I don't need actually anybody should be staying close to me and explaining with words. I don't need words.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, this is what I try to express with my photography. Like, even if I take a shot of just a mouth, a part of a skin or stuff like this, an eye, so not just the whole body or the whole face, it's always enough to communicate something. Because if we give a detail of a skin or of a mouth, you can see a story behind this too. If you look carefully at the photo and you just listen to the photo,
Exactly.
you can feel something in your heart, and this is a message that this means that the photo has something for you.
Yes. I love the expression, and I will be definitely using afterward listen to the photo, because it's actually what I have suddenly discovered just now when we were talking. But I would like, of course, then the continuation of this beautiful story that from little Ray. He was shy, a little bit introvert at school, as I understood. But was it your dream already there then to become a photographer, or how you actually felt and cultivated this dream? And can you please tell us then the flourishing of your talent, your young career, and how you became actually walking this path you are walking now? Thank you.
But this was not planned. So I studied at the university, since my parents were deciding much more than me. So I studied maths at the university, and I graduated in maths to be a teacher. Then with friends, they invited me to some events. So I had just to wear some coats. So I started like model, let's say, because I had to wear some items of a designer for some events to show off his work. When I was there, some people told me, we see you very well in this field and in this industry. Why don't you start to open a blog, do a website, start to do some photography? Because maybe you can tell some stories when you come to this event. And so I had already some classes of photography.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, let's open this blog just to try. So it was not so planned. Then many people invited me to the fashion show and stuff. So I had the way to do a lot of experiences in
Mm-hmm.
backstage, take a lot of photos.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment, I understood much more myself than before because I realized that even these invitations that I was going to the blog I opened was just to satisfy other people because they told me, why don't you come? Why don't you wear this? Why don't you stay in the fashion world? And when I was taking these photos in backstage and reportage for magazines for London and stuff, everyone was more or less the same.
Mm-hmm.
The fashion in Milan is always same thing, the same poses of the models, the same stuff. So at that moment, I decided I want to do something very different because I'm not myself just doing fashion photography, simple and for business and for aesthetics. I
Mm-hmm.
want to tell the real stories of the models, what they live, what they do behind the scenes, and start to talk about the real photography with sunlight, with no makeup, tell their stories, do different reportage.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, I understood that I was very interested in doing projects in photography and in fashion, but
Mm-hmm.
that could talk about something else. Like in the video, The Emotions of Fashion,
Mm-hmm.
I started to create something I like. So I was talking about fashion, but I was talking about all ages that you see in the videos, from child to very old people, and many forms of love because there is a straight couple, there is gay couple, and mm we talk about music and the connection of fashion with the piano and the music that can give us memories connected to some clothes and stuff. So I started to create a project that could say something more than what I saw in the backstage in the first 2 3 years. And that way, I started to love more photography and fashion, understanding that I was bored at the backstage after a couple of years, doing always the same things.
Mm. Okay, I kind of can relate because it's a little bit what's happening to me now, and actually I'm so happy that I could realize that, and now I can sublimating my energy to do something different. But of course, using already these platforms,
Yeah,
fashion
absolutely.
shows and all cultural endeavors to spread the message, like you said. Now you're advocating beautifully for inclusivity in fashion and intersectionary human rights and the
Exactly.
beauty of culture. It's I'm really inspired and admire everything you're doing, and that's why actually what you're doing attracted much of my focus, and I love the book you've made, and I love the name and title of this book, because it's like if people could ask me to describe myself just in one sentence, I could answer the same. I don't think the way you do, because it's me.
Uh,
It's okay, one thing we will be discussing, it's about neurodiversity, that I have also then my brain is just wired differently, but also my social lens aspect perspective. That's why I'm studying also, I'm making research about diversity and diversity management, but also I'm practicing every single day like you, trying to advocate for that. But it's not about me now. That was like kind of my speech of admiration that you were so bold to understand that again I'm just falling somebody's path, because believe me or not, now I'm not criticizing. I'm so blessed and gratitude after gaining the title Mrs. Rogue Nationality. The first fashion event I was honored to participate was Milano Fashion Week, and of course I was at this very special exclusive hotel of Savoy, and it was
it's nice hotel.
Main models, and yes, and it was for me, wow, of course, like breathtaking experience, because everybody like dream to participate, to walk runaway, to be. And I did it second time, like, you know, and like you said, now it's not like I'm criticizing, not at all, but I'm always now invited at September and now again in February. But I know it will be kind of the same, and I cannot create more than actually I'm also like, you know, I'm like you. I want to encourage more to inclusive fashion, right? To break the barriers, that it's not should be just me like tall. It should be body, all types of body. All it should be people who is promoting adaptive fashion. I mean, like people with disability, many other stuff. But it's still, I understand Italy probably should be classy, but I hope soon they also be a little bit more open, like you say.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand you. At one point, you feel after going 1, 2, 3, 4 years that you need something more and you want to work for something more.
Yeah.
Because you feel it's needed. Now, in the last 2, 3 years, they try to put some diversity into fashion shows, but it's more for business, you know. Even a cover of a magazine, they put maybe a fat, famous girl or a fat, famous guy. But because she's fat or he's fat and is already a celebrity, they put him or her on the cover. The problem is to work with regular people, with normal people at schools, at the society, family. This is the problem, because if a celebrity, I don't know, a guy goes in a red carpet with dressed like a girl or this stuff, it's okay because he is a celebrity. But if a young guy goes to school with a gun or something, it's gonna be punched. So still fashion just do this for business. So we need to change from the bottom. We have to try to do this. Obviously, I still go to fashion events. I love to style myself. I have to show creativity, and this is nice. But this is a channel, because fashion events, they have the chance to
Meet.
to create big events, to have visibility. They can do something. I mean, if we go to the event of a little town, they can do anything. So we need anyway to participate in the industry at the high level, because the high level can use media, can use TV, can use stuff to get to regular people. So myself too. I mean, I'm in the industry because also with the industry you can reach many people.
Yes, exactly, because it's their representation. It's there where you can actually make and expand your professional network. And I'm sure that there are also many people who are more and more getting awareness, like you and me, that there is a time to paradigm shift, to change. But when you kind of alone, it's yes, it's very bold to stay. But if it's already 2, 3 persons like-minded, then it's easy.
Already better. It's already better. Sure.
Yeah.
Even in this industry, probably 100 people, let's say 80 people or 85 are not interested in doing something for society, for diversity, for inclusion. But maybe there are that 4, 5, 6 people they are good, and they feel you are close to them, and they feel the same, and then the story and the project can come. It's like when I was doing the first different reportage.
Mm-hmm.
Some journalists were not interested, but once Rolling Stone magazine called me because that journalist felt that the work was different and he was liking. Or when I did the big exhibition in Rome, same, I didn't ask anything. I mean, a woman, which is very, very nice, she liked my work.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, why don't we create something important for the city?
Yeah.
So even if 80 people are not like good and they just think about money, there are some nice people that can come to you. So we have always to go out of home, go to events, go to fashion shows, go to cinema, also movies and stuff, because we can do projects with some people.
Yes, exactly. I that's why actually I'm also using my platforms, because even after the war broke up in my country, I've got so much critique that, oh, how can you continue caring about fashion, about beauty, art, and everything when your country and when your people are struggling so much and everything. But so I was also, of course, I was kind of shocked in the beginning, like everybody, like, I've got through a lot of different stadiums of how I felt about it. But at the one point I came also to understand it, what is my mission in this life, because to be truly myself. But also, I mean, if we are fighting for freedom, right, and we are like basically in Ukraine now, but also freedom should thrive for what? Because we live actually an art and culture and music. It's the most beautiful, what can unite us, what can heal us, what can just basically keep us alive every single day, and remind that why we are fighting for. We are fighting for all those beautiful things which we can create. We are not just fighting just to expand population, eat, and just sorry go to toilet, right? It's actually to create all this beauty.
Yeah.
That's why we are fighting for. That's why, I mean, you and me, it's true that 80%, 90% can think mainstream, but still, if we have message which we believe in that, and it's very important. I'm so happy that you decided to follow your path, and it doesn't matter that much, because there are all these people who will be criticizing, right? Because it's much easier to
Absolutely.
say something bad than to do something. It was
Yeah,
always
yeah,
that.
absolutely. Yeah. Imagine when at the beginning of my career, I was in a backstage, and designer from Rome, which is kind of important in Rome, came to the backstage, and I was talking with a girl, listen the story, and taking photos just of a detail of here without the makeup for a magazine in London. And this designer asked me, "What are you doing? You should take photos of the clothes. Why you're here?" And I said, "No, I'm trying to do some emotional reportage, a different story."
Mm-hmm.
And he started to laugh, saying,
Mm-hmm.
"No one care about this. This is stupid shit," something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And after like 1 year, like I told you, from Rolling Stone to other journalists, they call me appreciating the work. And so I would love to know what he thinks now after
Exactly.
10 years.
Yeah, amazing. And that's why I want to encourage you, please. I know you're still a little bit shy. I can understand from your child because you've made so many great stuff and really in the highest of level of realms. And and you've been leader in diversity and inclusion spaces in culture, art, photography for so many years now. So my question is, what do you believe still like most pressing issues when we face today? Diversity, when it's come to diversity and inclusion, what is the main still like biggest problem? I don't know.
As I said before, the biggest problem is that they work with important people. When they wanna, at least in fashion and in movies, they work for money anyway. For example, in Hollywood now, there is the law that if you in a movie, it has to be, it's mandatory to have a Chinese and like an Asian guy or girl, a Latino guy or girl, a gay guy or a lesbian girl.
Okay.
In the script there has to be always present all this type of diversity, but it's already like a standard thing for Hollywood. It's not it's not like if you go to school in some part of Los Angeles, there is still a lot super dangerous to go or to be Latino or to be gay or to be lesbian or to be Asian. And Los Angeles is one of the most inclusive cities. So they keep doing this for entertainment, like for business, in the high level of fashion, high level of cinema or movies. They try to show that they wanna do inclusivity. So I think they should show less and invest more. This big industry, they have money to invest in workshop at schools with families and stuff, to do this stuff in the real society, in the school. Even if they put Vogue paid a workshop at the high school in Rome or at the high school in Los Angeles. Would be very nice. It would be very nice instead of saying Vogue rented the main place in Rome and did the fashion show with two Down syndrome girls, because this is what for. This is just for Vogue to have more visibility, more views on the website or on channels.
Exactly, I understand.
So I think the industry should invest if they really want to do something for the society, doing things for regular people. Even if they leave their name, like Gucci did this with this little town, or this TV, like talk shows, TVs, podcasts. They should be done from them if they want to do something from the industry.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, now I'm starting to reflect, and it's like still again, it's very like closed and bohemian society there. Yes, and just for some exquisite people, and to have like just ordinary door opener, it's very difficult. It's like it's one I feel also it's one of actually discriminatory domain in the whole business, because they always kind of direct you how you have to be instead of cherish and embrace and celebrate how you are. It's always like you have to be like this, you have to be like that. But what if we actually went from another perspective? Look what you have, it's so beautiful, let's celebrate, let's embrace that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, now that you were talking, I was thinking that also now they do the awards, diversity awards or stuff. It's always, when they do in Milan, they always invite just some celebrities, but it's never half and half. They don't create an event with regular people and celebrities. So it's always business. They want a lot of views in the website, they want a lot of views in their channels, and they want people who invest for them. And this is not nice because they could do a lot. Also, the luxury industry is always going good in the world. I mean, some brands like LV, the one with Louis Vuitton and others, he's very good. It's very good, like the business going very good. So they could do something more.
Yes, exactly, because this is huge part of my advocacy, and I had quite a few shows already where I was interviewed, not like host, but also in different podcasts about fast fashion and slow fashion. Then it's also a huge problem about fast fashion. You know, it's the most pollutive industry after oil and gas, and actually it's more polluted than everybody's speaking about airplanes and everything. It's number two, it's textile fashion, the whole world now. Because look at Zara, H&M, other companies, they pull 16 collections per year. 16. And there's no slightly chance that it will be sold even 50% on every collection. And where all these clothes land, you know, it's like really huge cemetery in Asia. We know that nobody talk about that. And about water, how much water, electricity, and dye, and just to produce this clothes, yes, materials, but also then to color them, to dye. It's huge tragic. It's so big problem. So we need really to slow down to slow fashion. And I think I agree with you. It's actually everything about lack of knowledge and education. We really need to start from school to educate people to make responsible choices.
Right? Yeah. Because it's also ourselves. We don't even know things. Like in the Western country, like Europe or the US, we use the average in the world that we use if we buy something, we use 6 times in our life and then we trash. So everything we have is used just 6 times in the average. So we don't even notice this. We don't realize. So it's both the big industry, the regular people who doesn't have knowledge, don't have knowledge, and so it's not just the poor people in Pakistan or Bangladesh that they work in the textile industry. It's even this side that doesn't help at all because we don't even know things. This is what we said before. Information at schools, families, TV, radio should be done daily.
Yeah. I agree that education, information, knowledge sharing, the most powerful source, and that's why we need to educate. You know, last week my daughter, she came, and they have at school now 1 week with they already start practicing holding TED Talks and pulling the podcast, and she's like, Mama, I would like to your advice about really like some topics that can be concerned, like, you know, for the future and climate. And I said, and I was like, you know, because, you know, kids, they are teenagers, they are so into TikTok all the time now, and they flourishing for fast fashion, because she told me that some of these influencers, they never wear, like you said, 6 times, they never wear the second time.
Not even the second.
Both, right? And they encourage this because for them, that, oh no, it's a shame to look twice in this outfit. And then I told Nicole, you know, actually, can I show you please what is behind this fast fashion? And we said like half an hour, even more. I showed her all the conditions for kids labor, and about pollution, about fast. She was in shock. She could never ever. She's like, really, Mom? I said yes, and she was so proud because her TED talk was about fast fashion and slow fashion, and she was also like really admired by her students and teachers, because she came with so many facts that they had never, even like you said, they never question actually, you know. And now she's like, okay, because she spent some money to buy some new clothes, and she's like, I don't need new clothes. It's enough. She's like, no, we need that and that. So I mean, like, to speak even your households when you have evening and just dinner with your kids. Why not? We should start there, because social media now, right? They give this false fail information all the time, and they believe that the world in Norway, it's like everywhere. I said, no, it's not like that. Some kids, they can't go to school because you would like to buy something to show on TikTok or your stories on Instagram every single day.
Yeah. Also, it's not enough. I mean, it's not needed so much. I mean, you don't have to. We don't have to talk like 4 hours a day to our kids. But if we do daily, even if it's 5 minutes a day,
yeah,
it's important. If everyone could do this in their families or at schools, 5-10 minutes, it would be more than enough.
exactly.
Children, they learn everything, they listen to everything, even if they look to live in the world of maybe, TV, comics and stuff. In reality, they listen to everything. So it's needed just 5 minutes a day to give a good education about this.
It's exactly like, flourishing your gardens. It's just you put seed, you don't need to sit and wait.
Yeah.
Just 5 minutes to nurture, to give some water every single day, and then you have the result, right? You don't need really like to come bombastic with all that information. Then it's like, wow, it's too much, it's overload. But just like put seed in soil and a little bit water, a little bit sun, a little bit nutrition. It's how actually everything should be done, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you. So, but before I start, I want to speak about neurodiversity, because this is very passionate subject for me, and it's more and more attention. It's emergent type of diversity we are speaking now, and also in fashion industry. I wanted you to tell a little bit more also about actually your successful project, because I have touched a little bit your exhibition, then your book, right? And then your career in Los Angeles. How you actually work, like, I mean, more globally, where we can meet you, where we can find you, where we can find your projects, what you're working with now, or maybe also some dream projects where we can watch you in the future, more privately about yourself, because you're so diverse. You're just a little bit shy, but you are so actually a great champion and leader in the fashion and art and photography. I want to know about exactly your achievements. Can you a little bit more brag about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, for example, we can start for the exhibition I had in Rome, which was pretty big because it was 3 months in the capital.
Wow.
And the county of Rome decided to give me, like, to offer a museum where very, very important.
Amazing.
And they sponsored everything. So I liked this because, to me, this meant that they understood what I wanted to do with my photography. So it was not just an appreciation of the photos, but it was about the project. Because in that exhibition, we talked about diversity, inclusion, history of fashion, many things together, and fashion itself. But I tried to do something for schools and for fashion schools. They were invited, the schools, to come to the exhibition. And I hope a little seed went to these young people for their future. Let's do an example. I was talking about, I had some photos about two sisters
Uh-huh.
Their parents died when they were very young.
Okay.
One of the two sisters is Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
She has that type of diversity. So the older sister took care of this young sister with this um, Down syndrome. And I did a photo shoot with them
Mm-hmm.
in a bikini, the
Yeah,
bikini
yeah.
that we use at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was one of the 7 rooms, let's say, of the exhibition,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to teach to schools and to fashion schools the story behind the bikini, because bikini, which was something like a revolution in fashion when
Uh-huh.
it came out, because before women were all covered.
Mm-hmm.
Then they decided to show the belly, the center of with the bikini, and this was a big revolution. But the word bikini, for example, came from the experiment of the US. They were bombing the islands bikini, which is islands, and they were doing the atomic bomb trying in these islands. That was an explosion. That's
Okay.
why that's why it was called bikini, because bikini for fashion was a big explosion, like an atomic bomb they were using.
Oh.
So so I decided to take a photo shoot of these two sisters. They were plus size, both of them, the
Mm-hmm.
one with Down syndrome and the other two, in bikini, because it was an explosion of their proud of being themselves. One with Down syndrome, the other with just simply fat or plus size. So we were talking about this form of love for the sister, taking care and compassion, at the same time showing they're proud, they're being themselves in bikini, which is the thing in fashion that was an explosion and a revolution. So you have to be very courageous, very proud to wear a bikini, mainly if your body is not what they would love to be, no? The fashion industry. So this is just a way to say how to like make interact many things, because we were talking about fashion,
Mm-hmm.
history of fashion, diversity, Down syndrome, and photography, which was
Wow.
always the main thing, a good image that could give, obviously. It's a photography exhibition. But at the same time was much more for schools, for fashion schools. And these were 7 reflections about some themes. So now the project is, they already asked me to move the exhibition from Rome to Los Angeles
Ah.
with an art gallery. So we
Uh-huh.
have to do some video calls and try to understand how to make it happen. But they asked me to move there. So this is gonna be a nice project. I want to renew the 7 reflections, so I have in mind already new projects. I don't want to move the exact same photos in same exhibition that I have in my back and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but we're gonna do something new for Los Angeles. So if
What?
you will be there, we can also create something together
Yes.
for one of the rooms. Let's see if it goes on or.
It's two things, like, now I was like, oh my god, what an adorable story, knowledgeable. And here we're speaking about diversity from all possible angles. It's like intersectionary, oh my god, and history and story, and the great impact you have made in their life, and they impact people who are close to them. Can you imagine? And all these scholars, and it's like, it's so beautiful to show that storytelling, the whole world actually, right? It's, yes, okay, physical a lot of stuff that we can study now, like political and macro level. But it's about us. It's about people, about you and me. It's about storytelling. It's so important, right? And because sometimes we now digitalization, all this EI virtually, it's cool. It's much that we can achieve in the medical stuff. We can, of course, save so many lives because the medical services can advance. But still, sometimes we forget about our nature, about people. It's the most important, and how beautiful you could show it, right? And it's about diversity in also fashion and bikini. Oh wow, it's brain blowing for me, because I'm nerd. I started before we recorded and I put my glasses, right? So for me, the most important, it's like, the day where I can eat. Okay, I love it, but I can have food for my brain. And if I learn something really like new, like you now shared, like game changer for me, it's like bikini. I love really eating by my brain the new knowledge, and we need more such stories like you have shared. So I would be more than happy to, of course, participate and help when you are in Los Angeles, and maybe we could together, I know, create some also awareness about neurodiversity and people with disability, how we can also put their stories, maybe my story, other stories, like, it's so important, I think, through fashion, like you said, through storytelling, even through music, through real like intersection, to penetrate to people's lives, to make better impact. And I believe, even now, especially now when it's fires in Los Angeles, war in many countries, and political situation, it's even more needed to spread the hope, to show that still we need even now much more to proceed with all this beauty. That's why we try to battle to survive, right? So that's why we smoothly come to neurodiversity and the stuff which I'm very passionate, because I'm neurodivergent myself. I have obsessive compulsive disorder, and many people, like, I know it's one of cool exposure therapy to joke about this. People like say, oh, I have OCD, I have to have everything like put like this or in order. But like OCD, ADHD, autism, it's a spectrum, and we all on different spectrum. And I think as much knowledge we can also share, even starting from school, about people being different also in wiring in our brain, it's important. Because
absolutely, I have some projects also in photography.
Yeah,
there are some nice things that can be done at schools too
already. 35% of population in the whole world, but believe me, it's still, I put my edition, identified 35% neurodivergent, like all this dyspraxia, dyslexia, autism, ADHD, OCD. But again, it's identified. But how many people they are not identified, and because they don't know their traits, right? And then we are speaking about all the impacts that you are different, right? But you are not accepted. You are not experienced that you actually in inclusive culture, and it's dramatically consequences for people, right? Because 80% of people with autism grown up, they're unemployed, which cause their depression and suicidal 300% more. Can you imagine that? Because they've been told that they're disabled, they are not worth for society, because society mostly based, created for neurotypical people. But I believe all art, like, almost all art and creation, they are propelled by people with special kind of people, by neurodivergent people. Look, from ancient time, Beethoven, Mozart, Tesla, you name it. So, right, it's like people who really watch the world from another
a different eye.
Yeah. So what that was my wrapping, put in the context. But now it's actually the last part of our show today. So please feel free to reflect. Have you actually been faced with the term definition, which, because for me it's quite new. When I was in mental hospital in September, 1 month, I had very severe OCD episode. Then I found out, coincidentally, I had no idea about that actually, that people with disorder and disabilities like me, they actually can be called not like, not painful, not discriminative, like disorder, disability, but neurodivergent. It's not very insulted vocabulary, right? For me, when I said like kind of I'm OCD neurodivergent, it's much better if I say, oh, I'm actually sick and I'm mental, I don't know, shorted or something, right? Then I don't need to feel myself like this.
No, a society loves to give labels every time.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard about neurodiversity before? Have you heard?
Yeah, I heard here. Neurodiversity means like many types of, like autism can be many types, right, of diversity, let's say.
It's
But
cognitive.
as you say, is diversity from what? You know, I mean, everyone is different, so I don't believe a lot in these labels.
Very nice idea. Yes,
it's like sometimes I even in photography, sometimes when I have someone in front of me, there are some moments that I even forget, like not even I feel if it's a man, a woman, stuff. I'm so in contact with the soul, or with what I wanna capture with my camera, that comes to me from that human being, let's say, that I don't even notice too many details about how tall, how are your hair, or stuff. It's like more a connection, and this should be everywhere. I mean, why you should always label this type of diversities?
Yes, beautiful. So
Sometimes it's too much. I mean, we have to recognize it to get to know ourselves, because every one of us has a lot of defenses, we say, and way to express our struggles and our limits. But it's not always to be labeled.
I love the idea, and I love the idea that you actually have expressed now, no labels, but mostly that when you are making your magic, you actually are not caring that much about surface. It's about deep depth, not surface. And we unfortunately we need more and more awareness in our culture, because our culture, unfortunately, it's became so much about showing off and surface, but not deep values, unfortunately. So I'm happy we have you, society, and like I said, I believe by being a role model, by sharing real deep storytelling, what you are doing every day, and you took choice, very courageous choice one day, not many days, to break through the, I don't know, traditions, family traditions, then some kind of labels that if you are fashion photographer or not fashion, you have to do that and that, just costumes, not like you said, right? So we need absolutely more role models like you. So I would like to thank you so much for sharing your absolutely inspiring story.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. And before we wrapping up everything with my closing remarks, so I have a little tradition to kind of cheer up all the topics, deep topics we have been touched on, which I think is beautiful. So I like to play, and again we started from childhood, and we again back to our roots. And childhood always connected with fairy tales, and one of my favorite was, because I imagined I was this Princess Jasmine. So I bought recently this one, pink.
That's beautiful.
Yes, and
Very
this is
nice.
the, lamp, right? And
Yeah.
which fairy tale it reminds you? Wait, from which fairy tale this lamp?
Heritage, you mean?
I mean, from which fairy tale?
Fairy tale is Aladdin, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why, it's a genie, of course, and I'm your genie today. But because I'm still magic believer, I would like to help and to make at least one wish for everybody. As many as possible people I will be hosting there. Thanks God, he will be grateful, and people still say yes to participate. But this lamp has the place for your wish, one wish as well, not three, but one wish. If you could wish today something, what would that be?
Should I say out loud or
Yes,
secretly?
No, okay. Let's do
Okay.
like this. You can put three wishes, and now you say loud one. And when we are Los Angeles making magic together and spread message about diversity, then you can tell me two others. But today, yes, please tell one.
Okay. Well, let's say if we talk about now fashion and work in photography, to try to have in as much cities as I can the exhibition, and in each city give a little gift, a new reflection in the history of fashion for students and for schools. Maybe these little seeds can, city by city, to work a bit in society.
Beautiful. Wish I'm joining with all my fibers and vibes and everything. And also, all dreams come true when we also fulfill them by our hands and work on them. So let's, of course, okay, I put it here, and I'm sure it will come true. And my dear audience, it was absolutely lovely to have Ray today. Absolutely. And I want to share you one reflection, because usually I just put some remark and read. So, but this morning, before I started like my active day, so I was into my daily routine. It's like meditation. It's a little bit journaling about gratitude and reading a short inspiring article, like very short, like before I wake up and do everything, like to set the mold about. And this article, they're very short, and they're usually about personal growth and spiritual development. Yeah, and for me it was so divine and magical, because the article after my meditation and journaling is gratitude, I opened, and very first thing was I was reading. It was in the beginning of this inspirational article. It was like that. It was about a ray of sunshine, and it was like this. It was a reflection about cultivating positive thoughts, and how just one seed, you see, we were talking about seeds, after one seed of nurturing can cause a profound change, right? And it was about this, even the smallest ray of light can brighten the darkest room. And I could imagine, like, really, it's true. It's like, even if it's very, very dark, but just one ray of light come, and then the whole room is already enlightened. Yeah. You don't need much. And when I could read these two first sentences, I was like, oh my God, Ray. And today I will be hosting Ray in the podcast.
That's beautiful.
Me, I am very imaginative like you. And for me, this ray of sunshine in the dark room immediately became your mission and your life, and you became this ray, which is ray in the very like mainstream fashion culture and photography, but you are this very beautiful ray of sunshine in your domain. You understand that by just being you, just like one this small ray, but it's already so big change, big difference, exactly like sunshine, just one little rain and the whole room. So I was like in the morning, wow, oh my god, this is about Ray, I'm going to share it with him. So
Thank you. Yeah, it's so
that
nice.
was, I was like, wow. And because you're Ray, and then because it's so true that you're just like Ray sunshine, and even that you by yourself, but I'm sure it's not yourself, it's more and more people who really now reach out to you because they love your passion ideas, right? So but because of your courageous and being so still persistent and bold, and sometimes you should start like really alone to do everything, but then you're this, you can actually also, you know, maybe in the future if you have a little bit hesitations, you can imagine and compare yourself with this sunshine ray, that you have so much power even if you stay alone, that you can enlighten the whole huge room or, you know, even more.
I
So
will
that
keep in mind.
yeah, so that's why for me you were this special ray who can really enlighten and make change for whole space, and what you are doing for me, you are exactly this ray. So today my close remarks for people, for you, for me, and for our beautiful audience, that you know, even if the smallest ray of light can brighten the darkest room, showing us that every small tiny challenge and change hold a hidden possibility for growth and transformation. So never underestimate the power of your own story. Sharing how you overcame personal challenges can be incredibly inspiring to somebody else who feels trapped in a similar situation. So by opening up your story, your struggles, but also your triumphs, you became a living example that change is possible. You might not see the immediate impact, like you and me said, it's about seed, right? Which
Yes.
your story has on others. Maybe you don't, okay, what podcast, so what? But no, rest assured, your words could spark the hope they need to be for other people. So when you focus on the good in your own narrative, it reminds others that a better tomorrow is not just a dream. It's reality waiting to be created. And you and me, and I believe my wish for this podcast, that let us, you, me, and all of us, be more encouragement vessels to others, or this sunshine ray like you are. This is my
Yeah.
closing remarks for today.
Thank you, and appreciate your work, your passion, and you are doing what you just read.
Thank you so much, and beautiful greetings to your family, because they have created you, they have shaped you, they inspired you in your childhood, and that's why we have the gift uh, on our earth, and you're spreading your talent. I am sure impacting many lives, and mine as well. And yes, I hope one day we can meet, not just through
Yeah,
the
absolutely, we
limitation,
will.
and do something together. I'm sure it will be a very beautiful experience.
We
Thank you.
will, absolutely. Thanks
Thank
to
you.
you.
Take care of yourself. Bye bye, Ray.
Thank you. Bye, bye, everyone. Thank you.